see this when he's walking out. She's right inside.
Yeah, he's hugging her right now. She's a fixture at NEF events.
Every NEF fight, she's on social media. She supports everybody. She's got a great attitude. That's Rose Ellison. He is Team Ellison. I thought it was a really classy thing to do, knowing that, you know, she's a real big supporter of MMA, of NEF, and all the fighters in Maine. So this is their debut, Team Ellison.
Yep, Patrick Mitchell again. His debut fight, and he weighed in at 148.2 pounds. A little bit of a weight discrepancy because Kaleb Kenney weighed in at 154.4, so a little bit bigger. And he's got more experience, obviously, in the cage. He's 0-2. Kaleb Kenney out of Team Nightmare. Most recently, NEF 46, he had a UG loss to Cody Kilton, and we did the commentary for that one. Yeah. And although it was a loss, it was actually kind of impressive because, you know, Cody Kilton is legit, comes out of a great gym in first-class MMA, so for him to hang in there, to tough it out, to go to a decision with Cody Kilton, I feel like he's progressing as a fighter.
I do too, because his first fight, Kaleb Kenney's first fight, was against Isaac Piette, one of my fighters, and you know, Isaac beat him. It was a legitimate win for Isaac. It wasn't all that as easy as Isaac thought it would be. And Cody Kilton, in the same card, beat up one of my fighters, what's his name, Cam Hoyt. He beat Cam Hoyt. And I'm like, man, Cody Kilton's tough because Cam Hoyt's not a walkover. And I saw Kaleb Kenney evolved quite a bit to take Cody Kilton to the distance.
Yeah.
That was pretty amazing. So if he's evolved that much from this fight from that fight to this fight, he's taking on an 0-0. Let's see.
Yeah.
Might be a.
And you know, with a lot of these amateurs, especially with a debuting fighter in Patrick Mitchell, you just never really know what you're going to get, you know, because there's no tape for us to really go on and watch their previous fights because this is his debut. So, you know, that's got to be interesting for someone like Kaleb Kenney, who's, you know, trying to get that first win of his career, going in there kind of like to the unknown, not really knowing what your opponent's, you know, style is going to be like. And that can be tricky, but that's why it's mixed martial arts. You got to practice every discipline. You got to get good regardless of where the fight goes.
Everywhere. You got to be a well-rounded fighter to fight anybody, because you never know where it's going to go, especially with a guy who's debuting, like you said. So I noticed that his corners are different from his last couple of fights. He used to have a different corner, and maybe different training partners. Let's see. I'm excited to see, you know, what Kaleb Kenney's got going on. 0-2 fighter. You don't want to go 0-3. Where do you keep going from there, you know?
This is our second fight of the evening here at NEF 49, a lightweight bout. Let's send it to Pete for the announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest is scheduled for 3 rounds and is in the lightweight division. Your referee for this bout will be Dale Hart. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my right. He comes to us representing Team Ellison and is from right here in Bangor, Maine. Ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Mitchell. And his opponent, standing directly across the cage, fighting out of the red corner to my left. He represents Team Kenney and lives in Jonesport, Maine. Ladies and gentlemen, Kaleb Kenney. 3 rounds, lightweights.
All right, here we go. The red corner is Kaleb Kenney. He has the olive trunks with the red tape around his gloves. And, of course, that means Patrick Mitchell is in the blue corner. He's got the red and black Venom trunks.
Kaleb Kenney, I know he was a striker. I know he likes to strike, so I expect him to come out punching, looking for the KO. Let's see what happens. Whoa.
All right, Mitchell opens up with a little spinning back kick that doesn't land.
Balance doesn't look that bad either. That's what I look for in these 0-0 fighters. How's their balance after they throw those kicks? And he looks pretty balanced. Hands are a little bit low.
Both guys looking in tip-top shape for this lightweight bout as Mitchell looks to take Kenney to the ground. But both men up against the cage right now as Kenney reverses position.
Yeah, so I think Mitchell might have seen a couple of his fights and said, you know, let's see what you got on the ground, buddy. Nice trip to the ground.
They're right in front of us.
He's past the half guard. Kenney's putting him back in full guard.
Mitchell trying to land some ground and pound. Kenney's doing a good job of playing defense here on the bottom.
Mitchell trying to make some space, get some punches in. He's kind of getting up. Triangle choke coming up from Kenney. He's got the leg over for the triangle choke. The way to stop that is to stuff him. Oh boy, Kenney might get this.
Yeah, Mitchell.
If he get the arm to the other side.
Oh, some nice hammer fist from the bottom from Kaleb Kenney.
And Mitchell didn't like that, so he's going off with a few of his own. And that triangle choke is tightening up. Mitchell's doing a good job of keeping his left arm out and creating that space on this side, on the left side of his neck, so that he can breathe and doesn't get shut off with his carotid.
Those are some hard shots that Mitchell's landing right now. He's right in front of us, so I can tell exactly how hard they are, and I know that won't feel good in the morning.
No. I mean, Kenney should be transitioning to an arm bar, but he's going the other way. He might want to throw, if he's got that, he wants to throw the right leg over. I'm not coaching. I'm saying it low. Kenney might but good job from Mitchell to keep this where it is.
If you're in Mitchell's corner, though, like, are you telling him to try and get back up to his feet? Because he's playing a dangerous game right now, and it looks like this is getting tighter.
Well, the way to stop the triangle is to stack him up on his neck. But if you can't stack him up, it will get tighter. So every time he stands up and puts him on his neck, that makes it easier. It makes it easier on Mitchell. Takes a little pressure off. And here he goes again. But you got to keep your balance. If he loses his balance and he goes to the ground, Kenney's going to have an advantage.
All right, we're at 15 seconds left in the first round right now. A very interesting first round. It kind of, it'd be kind of confusing a little bit as to how you want to score it, because although Mitchell's been on top, Kenney's done a lot of damage and scored some points from the bottom too.
Yeah, some. I think, it's a good round. That was a really good round. I think Kenney's going to want to keep space.
Oh, big shot. Mitchell landed a couple of big shots right there. Oh, and the knee got through.
He came out firing, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did. But Kenney showed some composure right there. A nice poker face at least. Didn't act like he was too hurt. And right now,
here comes the trip
back
again.
Down we go.
I hate to say it, but if Kenney had a little more angle on that triangle, I think he might have pulled it out. He's doing a good job of getting into full guard now. Yeah, so he did a good job of getting back into a position to set up that triangle again, which is probably what he's going to try to do, because he doesn't want to take any more of those punches. He's keeping his head locked down so he can't posture up and create a lot of space for those punches, using the cage. Using his feet off the cage, trying to get that knee up for that. Control that so he can get his left leg up around his neck.
Kenney was doing a good job right there of holding on the wrist for a little wrist control to prevent Mitchell from landing some more shots. Yep. But I'll tell you what, I do think the game plan for Patrick Mitchell was to get this to the ground. I think that they must have noticed that watching tape for Kaleb Kenney, that he probably would have a better chance to win this fight if he gets it to the ground, which is what he's done thus far.
Yeah. And again, stacking him up on his neck. It's hard to throw up anything for when you're on your neck. He's definitely looking for that triangle, though. He's going to try and scoot that left arm over his over the shoulder.
Got 1:10 left in the second round. Another round that has, for the most part, taken place on the ground.
I'll say Patrick Mitchell's cardio for an 0-0 fighter, I think he looks in pretty good shape, because he doesn't seem to be gassing right now.
Landed another nice shot there.
Yeah. He seems to embrace the grind right now. Stuffing Kenney into the corner, trying to drop some bombs on him. Kenney doing what he can to control the hips and push his hips away and keep his head down to negate the damage. But he's got to move quicker if he wants to get something done.
And this very well could be a situation where Kaleb Kenney's going into round number 3, down 2 rounds to nothing. So more than likely he would need a finish here.
And he's still trying to throw punches. He's still game, Kaleb Kenney. 10 seconds. We're going to see the gas tanks of both of these guys coming up in the third. Again, what's happened in the first 2 rounds. If I was his coach, I'd tell him to make space. Not that way, though.
And there it is. Again, Patrick Mitchell comes forward landing big shots. And if this doesn't stay on the feet, I would assume that Mitchell would revert this and get it right back down to the ground where he's had a lot of success. But right now, a lot of shots landing for Patrick Mitchell.
And Dale Hart's going to stop it if Kaleb turns his back again. He almost turned his back. Wow, he absorbed some shots. He's game. He's staying in the fight. He might, I don't know, do you think Patrick Mitchell might have got punched out? Might have exerted a lot of energy.
Well, he was definitely looking for the finish right there, and you could tell after he was done throwing, he was like, all right, let's get this back down to the ground.
And here comes Kaleb Kenney. Here comes Kaleb. Patrick does look a little gassed. Kaleb was able to, he's got underhooks, so he's going to probably stuff this takedown. I wouldn't give up that underhook on the right side, because he could switch to a single. He's going to take him down again. Oh, man.
Big moment right there.
The third takedown, one every round, and it kind of stays in this position. This doesn't help Kaleb Kenney's cause.
No, got about 1.5 minutes left in the fight for Kaleb Kenney to pull a rabbit out of the hat and get a submission or a TKO win.
Patrick Mitchell is smothering him like he did in the first 2 rounds, getting him high on his neck so he can't, getting some pressure on his head so he can't throw up that triangle. Very comfortable position for Patrick Mitchell, and then dropping some big bombs.
Patrick Mitchell right now in cruise control on top of Kaleb Kenney with 1 minute left in the fight.
Kaleb Kenney's got to do something. He can't coast like this. He's not winning. Kaleb's got to get busy. Got to get busy with his hips. Either get out of there, bring it back to the stand. Oh, he's got Kaleb's head. He's got his
big
right arm pinned.
Big shots right there from Patrick Mitchell.
Yeah, Patrick pinned his right arm, so he couldn't use it. He's still got it pinned. Now it's loose. He's gone to side mount. Kaleb Kenney's in a bad spot right here.
How tough is Kaleb Kenney, though? He's taken a lot of damage over these 3 rounds right now.
There's no quitting him. There's no quit. I like that about this guy. 10 seconds. I love it. These guys, this is a really good fight, a really good showing for Patrick Mitchell.
Folks, that was a good old fist fight on a Friday night in Bangor, Maine that went 3 whole rounds. How about a round of applause for both of these warriors? After 3 hard-fought rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judges Scott Mellon, Matt Collins, and Steve Rita are all in agreement. Your winner, via scores of 30-27 across the board, Patrick